The moment I knew solo living was right for me. There was one specific moment, and I remember exactly when something just clicked. And I knew without a doubt that this life was right for me. So today I want to tell you that story. Welcome back to Beth's Solo Life. And this channel is about solo living over 60. And this story is a little bit more personal than usual. I don't have a list for today. I don't have a list. I just have a little story. And this moment has stayed with me, and it actually started in the beginning of 2020, right before COVID. My daughter and my grandson had been living with me, and they moved out. And honestly, I was vacillating between enjoying the peace and quiet and the space and feeling a little lonely. I mean, I was kind of struggling on and off, on and off. And I remember I'd made myself breakfast and took my coffee, my breakfast, and sat out on my back patio overlooking my garden. And even though it was just me, I was still kind of in that stage where, I was second guessing a lot of my choices. And, I'd catch myself wondering if I was doing the right thing, if I should be doing more, should I be out seeing more people, filling my days differently. And there was, still a quiet voice asking if I was actually okay, or just telling myself I was. I'm an introvert, so that those things kind of tend to happen, I think. And honestly, though, sitting there on the porch when I had my coffee, I noticed something. I wasn't checking the time. I wasn't waiting for anyone. I wasn't half listening for the other person that might need something from me. I was just there and completely there in that moment. It was quiet. And I remember setting my coffee down and just noticing how calm my nervous system was. And, there might have been a little relief when they moved out, but honestly, I was missing them. And so I was kind of surprised there were some times where I felt kind of lonely, but other times I was kind of settling into this quiet understanding that this is my life and I don't need this to look like anyone else's life. I'm learning and learned that this is enough, that this was good, that this was okay. And, there were no fireworks, no big dramatic realizations, just a morning, my cup of coffee, and a very quiet certainty that I hadn't felt in a long time. And looking back, I don't think that morning changed anything about my circumstances. My life looked the same the next day, but something shifted internally, and I stopped measuring my life against a version of it that included someone else. I mean, it always had included someone else, and I had to understand that I was treating solo life a little bit like a waiting room, until something happened. That I wouldn't start living my life or have any kind of purpose unless I was with another person. And so honestly, this was right before COVID, and then COVID hit. And of course, we were all isolating. And, things started to feel a little different then. I spent a lot of that time redecorating and doing a lot of my DIY projects on my own. Started making plans, that were just for me and without a second thought. And I started to get excited about that. And so I understood that quiet morning gave me the realization that I was withholding from myself, that I knew that this was okay. And I'm wondering if some of you are feeling like you're in that second guessing period or that stage right now, technically living alone, but not yet fully settled into it. And I want you to know that moment does come. It might not be dramatic. It might be an ordinary Saturday. It might even just be a real slow realization that, oh, I'm actually okay. And it does come though. And if you've had a moment like that specifically, or a specific point where solo living just clicked for you, I would genuinely love to hear it. I mean, I would love for you to tell me your story in the comments. And honestly though, I think these stories matter more than any advice I could ever give. And I hope you'll share your comments and give me a like, thumbs up. And I appreciate you spending time with me to allow me to share my personal story on why I'm choosing this life. And I'll continue talking about it. And I want to post some other things that are fun and adventures, solo outings. I go on dates with myself all the time, and I want to talk about that. I want to talk about dating. I did date a guy for a couple of weeks last year, or a couple of months last year. And while I won't share that personal experience, I want to share why I'm choosing not to date now and other things. So I hope you'll join me with some other videos. And in the meantime, I hope you're enjoying a solo life if that's what you're choosing.